Hi there, in this FAMIS 360 video, we're going to teach you how to look up inventory parts and then request them. Note this applies to the desktop version of FAMIS. Okay, let's show you how to do this. You can request parts from either the work order module or from the shopping cart module. The preferred approach is from the work order module because this approach ensures the cart is associated with a work order from the beginning. So first off, let's click on Find Request and let's put in a request ID. So let's put in 59705. That's the work order number. And then we're going to click on Find. Now what we have to do is scroll down to the search results and click on that 59705 work order. Now under the General Information section, what we want to do is go all the way over here to the right side, and the first hyperlink you see is Shopping Cart. We're going to click on Shopping Cart. Now sometimes a smaller window will appear and you want to maximize that, but I've already maximized it so you can see here everything is visible. Now once you're in this screen here, you could see all the historic shopping carts associated to this work order, such as Shopping Cart 28, 41, 42, 43. Now, if this is a new work order, it's not going to have any history, of course. But for this example, this one has a few different shopping carts. So you're going to want to do is click on Create New Cart. And here, you want to make sure you fill out these two fields since they're required with the red square here on both sides. There's a certain format you need to always follow. And that format is your trade name abbreviation with a space and then your last name. For example, let's say I'm a plumber, so I'm going to type in PLM for plumbing, and then space my last name, which is Garza. Then you want to make sure there is a request ID in here. And since we came from the work order, it's already filled out. So now let's go and click on OK. We see Cart 46 has been created with the description PLM Garza matching what we entered for our cart name. And now we need to start shopping. To do this, click on the actual cart number. So let's click on 46. Now we need to find the material ID. Of course, if you know this, you could type it in right here. More often than not though, we're going to have to click on Select. Now let's review these three search filters here. Basically you have the part number field that can accept keywords, the material class dropdown, and the warehouse dropdown. Let's start off using a keyword search such as a brand of a particular part. For example, let's type in Sloan as our keyword here and then click Find. And you'll see that there is a reasonable size list here even before selecting material class or warehouse. Now if we select for carpentry, we'll find no records to be found. But if we select plumbing as the material class, we'll see that there are plenty of records. One thing to keep in mind, if your keyword is too generic, you might exceed 300 records, and then that will kick back an error. So then you have to put in something more specific, or filter down more with the material class or a warehouse location. Okay, let's try another keyword. What if we put in 1/4 to represent, say, 1/4 inch, and then click on Find. Let's see how many records that puts out. Quite a bit. But if we go to material class and change this to, say, electrical, let's see if that reduces our list size. It does. That's a much more manageable size. Okay, so let's pick a part. Say we wanted to have the second one here, ELE 1130. We'll click on that. And then you'll see that it's been added here to our cart. And just like regular shopping you might do, say on Amazon, you need to make sure you have a quantity. And by default it's at 0, so let's put 1. And we don't want to put 2 or 3. The reason why is actually there's only one available quantity here. If there was 46, for example, we actually only can pick 45. 45 is the max quantity you can put in at a time. But like I said in this example, we got 1 here, so let's just put 1, and then we're going to click on Add. If we want to shop for some more items, we can go back to Select, and then we can put in some additional parts. So let's put in something like, for a nipple, let's go with this brass nipple here, BMD 1185. We'll put the quantity of 1, add that, And now we see there's 2 items here in our cart. And let's get something else. Let's get, say, a hose. And there are these available here with 1 each also. Let's get this one here. Make sure we add the quantity of 1. Let's go and add one more thing. Let's put a belt in here. And we'll say find. Looks like there's quite a bit of quantity of this one particular one. Now let's get, say, 10 of those. Add it. And now we say 10, 1, 1, 1. Looks about right to me. And so now we're going to click on Update. It's very important to click Update whenever possible. And it says records have been updated. Okay, great. At this point, we can either edit the cart further or we can check out. And so if this looks proper, we can even click on Show Details to display the request ID the cart is associated with. If this looks great, we're going to go to the Checkout hyperlink up here. So let's click on that. Now let's put in the delivery instructions. Note, all orders must be picked up at the FS warehouse. And then if you want to say someone else will be picking up the order, or if a higher quantity is needed than what's currently available at hand, you can also put that in there too. And the date required, so maybe we'll be more realistic and pick, how about next Wednesday. Okay, so we've submitted it. Let's go back up and look at the tab over here to take us back to the work order. And let's check the shopping cart to verify it's there. Great, so here's our cart number 46. We have a date required of next Wednesday, June 11th. And you could undo this if you wanted to, up until the point where it has been issued. If you need to edit or return parts, you're going to want to speak with your transactor. Okay, so let's show you the other method, which is going down to the shopping cart module. So from here, you could see kind of a familiar screen that we saw earlier in the last portion of this video. And if you wanted to create a new cart, it brings up this familiar prompt here where you put your trade and then your last name, and then of course your work order ID, and then you can go off to the races. With that in mind, going back to the shopping cart here, you can also do is look up open, non-issued, partially issued, or closed cart statuses. So taking advantage of this status is a good way to look back on either ones that are still open that you haven't actually submitted. As long as you were sure to click on Update, you'll still see parts in your cart. Non-issued would be ones that we have requested but have yet to be issued, just like the one we did, number 46. There it is. And partially issued, meaning that some of the parts have been received but we're still waiting on additional ones. And then closed, which shows some history, which actually can be very useful. For example, we can just look back, find parts that we've requested before, and reference those numbers to order additional ones. Okay, in summary, you can shop for parts by either going up to the work order module, or you can go to the shopping cart module. Just be sure to associate your shopping carts with the proper work order ID. Okay, we hope this training video was helpful. Thanks for watching.